Okay, we need an intro. Because I don't know how to run this this rodeo. I haven't thought about how to run this rodeo.
All right, so we are called Is It a Film?
Yeah, that's the name of the show.
The name of the show is It a Film?
Yeah. We need an intro. We need like a catch. Trevor used to do musical intros, but they were really annoying, but also really good. I don't think you should do one for this, but something similar in tone, so people know we're memey, or we're edgy, but we're fun, and we're hip to the youth. Give me an audio version of Thanos, or no, Iron Man climbing up Thanos' butt. Can you give me the audio to that? That was actually pretty decent. God damn. We should be in the bullying business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need two Thanos' butt cheeks ASAP. Okay, I got you. Also sounds like Aphex Twin. That compression is nasty.
No, because you wouldn't give me headphones.
It was gonna be nasty anyway.
You little bitch.
Just because it's loud.
You little bitch.
You're trying to find me. Welcome to Is It a Film? We're a podcast that critiques and memes movies. I just took the Anthony and Todd headline.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the same. It's going on the Anthony and Todd channel for now because we don't have any place to put it. A different podcast, so me and Jonathan can talk about the thing we're getting our degrees in.
Movies.
Music.
Oh.
Right?
You've put a lot of time in classes that don't matter, Vincent, if you're getting a degree in music.
Anyway, today we're going to be talking about Avengers Endgame. I think how to start with Avengers Endgame. I think that's the point. So there's a purple guy.
Purple guy.
He has
the last California raisin. The rest of them have long since died. This is the last one.
And he's dummy thick.
Dummy thick.
And there's a little ant fellow.
Little ant fella.
And there's a guy made of iron who's really petty.
Yeah.
And there's a guy who's like, nah, don't talk about him. More importantly, there's a girl who could just like at any point in time just kind of like save the world.
But she doesn't.
But she just goes off, and it doesn't make any sense where she's been, to the point where I think the only logical conclusion to think where she's been for like the last 4 decades is that she's just been somewhere off in space consistently masturbating for like 40 years.
No, I feel like there's other explanations.
Nah.
Binge drinking.
Nah, she's consistently masturbating.
I'd be binge drinking.
I think she's consistently masturbating, just in the middle of space. That's another great Foley sound effect. Miss Captain Marvel just away.
Is that what you think that sounds like?
It's better than what Thanos' asshole sounds like, which is this. I don't think that's an actual representation of that.
No, that's just another Aphex Twin track. So like,
if you had to do a Captain Marvel noise of her masturbating, what would it sound like? Mr. Foley specialist. I'm gonna critique Vincent on his very shitty noise of Captain Marvel masturbating.
do you really want me to do this?
Yeah, go ahead. That's just Thanos' asshole. It's probably close to what it would Captain Marvel masturbating would actually sound like, but actually there wouldn't be any sound because you'd just be in the void of space.
Yeah, in space, no one can hear you masturbate.
But Avengers Endgame,
Very different alien movie.
Avengers Endgame, the conclusion to, I guess,
22 movies.
22 years.
10, 11 this year? It's 10-ish to 11 years
11.
of like, movies.
Well, it started in 2008 with Iron Man,
Yeah.
and then first Avengers was in 2012. What were you doing in 2012?
2012, let's see.
That's
in
the important
2012,
question,
I
man.
would have been... How old would I have been in 2012? I'm 23 now, in 2019, so subtract 7 years. I would have been 14. I would have just been starting high school, so
I think you were a sophomore because I was a freshman when Avengers came out.
Okay, so maybe that was like at the point where I was like a sophomore.
Were you already binge drinking?
No, I was really depressed.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
I think that's just today.
I was planning on being an engineer back then. That changed. Back then, I had a future. Then I became a film major.
Then you became friends with me, and future just goes
And yeah,
upwards,
downwards,
upwards. 'Cause I'm a good friend.
You're a friend.
I don't know what I was a freshman. Similar attributes to you, except I wanted to be an architect.
Ew.
And I saw Avengers with my dad, and it was funny. The circle continued, and I saw this film with my dad. He hasn't seen any other Avengers film besides the first one, and he saw Captain Marvel with me and my grandma like a month ago. So he said he like understood it, I think, most of it. But he really wanted to come see it. So
That's a choice.
yeah. So I think we could go through all the 22 movies. I think the best way to do this is a one word, or not one word, one sentence QuickTime summaries that you'll give to me.
Okay.
Keep in mind there are correct answers.
There's correct answers.
Yeah, Marvel, like all the Marvel nerds have had a definite listing of all these films. And I think you need to give me the correct answers, or else I'm gonna tell the Marvel nerds, and they're gonna rip your arms off.
Wait, so am I ranking them, or am I just giving a
Just
one word?
or one sentence summary of the
Okay.
film. Okay, Iron Man. This is Phase 1, by the way.
Phase one, Iron Man. The only good movie from Phase 1, literally the entire Avengers series is built on the goodwill it created.
No, that's wrong.
Oh.
The correct answer was Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with the box of scraps.
Oh, so this is gonna be memes.
No, it's
Oh.
the correct answers. Incredible Hulk.
It's the one we all forget.
It's actually the sequel to Fight Club. That was the correct answer. Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 1, but worse, but also this time with Sam Rockwell.
Correct answer was the sequel to The Wrestler.
God damn it.
I have a theory that Milky Rourke is like the same person in all of his films. Like, it's
Okay.
the same character.
See,
it's the same thing with my Kurt Russell idea. I think Kurt Russell is just all the characters because
So one of us is trying to give like actual commentary on the series up till now, and the other one is being a meme jackass.
no, it's actually the sequel to The Wrestler.
It's not. Like, how can it be a sequel to The Wrestler if Mickey Rourke's character dies at the end of The Wrestler?
Does he? I've only seen 3/4 of The Wrestler because it made me really depressed.
Okay, so
and it made me think about actual wrestling.
in the movie The Wrestler, he is told by his doctor if he ever wrestles again, he will die, and it ends with him wrestling again, jumping off of the thing and off of camera, implying that he's going to die because he chose to go back to wrestling because that's the only place where he felt like he belonged. So he chose to die doing what he loved instead of living a life of pointlessness and obscurity.
No, I think he lived.
And became Russian
Yeah,
and
because
a master engineer.
yeah, that's just a really bad concussion. Just like a really fucking bad concussion.
Move on. Let's just move on.
Thor.
Boring as fuck.
Masters of the, but the collective of Marvel fans
No.
put Masters of the Universe, but with 4.
That's fair, actually. Yeah. Yeah.
See, correct answers. Captain America, the first Avenger.
Should have been more of a war film as opposed to whatever the fuck that was.
Captain America's wrist was so cold that he fell asleep for 70 years. My wrist stone cold. My wrist stone cold. No, you didn't like that joke?
No.
I was going to do a Steve Austin one, but I couldn't think of a punchline. That's it. The Avengers.
The first good movie after Iron Man.
The correct answer is team building the movie. You can't tell me I'm wrong
Can.
because these are the correct actual answers from Kevin Feige himself.
From Kevin Feige himself.
He gave me these answers.
It's amazing how you keep changing where the answers came from.
Well-
At one point it was the Marvel Fan Collective. Now it's Kevin Feige himself.
Well, the Marvel fan collective.
What's next, God? Stan Lee came back from the grave to hand you these answers?
You can't prove that he didn't.
I hate you.
You can't prove that there is an afterlife. And then I have developed a cult around Stan Lee.
Can we move on?
And then he's been giving me Ouija board messages of the correct answers to summarize these movies. Jonathan.
Can we move on?
Phase 2, starting with Iron Man 3.
They ruined the Mandarin, but it's also very clearly a Shane Black movie.
You actually kind of got that kind of right. The correct answer is, why was some white dude the Mandarin?
That's fair.
Thor to the Dark World.
Somehow worse than 4-1.
Correct answer was, does anyone actually remember what the fuck this film was about? Because I don't think anyone saw it.
I think
If they did, they don't remember
my
it.
vague memory is they introduced in one of the Infinity Stones, and there was an elf. So you could literally just replace it with Will Ferrell, like, walking up, throwing a stone at Thor and running away, and it'd have the exact same effect.
Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
The first good Captain America movie, and also, like, an excellent espionage film.
It's actually, the correct answer was, ha! I was a Nazi the entire time!
Damn it.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
The funniest Marvel movie.
Ha! Chris Pratt was a scumbag the entire time! That's what I get for getting attached to a character. Getting emotionally attached. I get the person just being not happy with the gays.
Yep.
And wanting to eradicate them.
Yep.
Yeah. Fun.
Good job, Chris.
Avengers Age of Ultron.
Terrible Avengers movie. The only bad Avengers movie.
Dude.
Like, that's actually, like, titled Avengers.
Dude, Siri mad as fuck.
Oh my god.
Some of these are really bad.
Some of these are awful.
I will say a lot of these were awful because it was from a dead Stan Lee.
Stan Lee was not the genius that they made him out to be.
Yeah, because he's dead. He's
Yeah.
not alive anymore. If he was such a genius, he would have remained alive.
Exactly. That's why Steve Jobs, also not a genius. Nikola Tesla, not a genius.
Yeah.
Albert Einstein, not a genius. Stephen Hawking, not a genius.
Ant-Man.
A fun heist film.
It's actually Our Idiot Brother, but small. Mm-hmm. Phase 3 with Captain America: Civil War.
Did we skip some?
No.
Oh, no. Civil War, just Avengers 2.5.
It's politics. The movie. Someone with a bad idea keeps fighting for it, even though it's stupid.
That's a fair summary. And
It's the correct
societal
summary.
critique.
Doctor Strange.
Iron Man, but trippy.
She's bald. That's how you can tell she's ancient.
These are awful. It's just
Guardians
so
of,
bad.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
It's just volume 1, but less funny.
It's actually Kurt Russell's eyebrows are fucked up in the opening scene because they CGI'd them on to make him look younger, and they're just like they didn't CGI him on. They like CGI'd his face and kept his old eyebrows.
That was way more than one sentence.
There's a lot of commas.
That was a run-on sentence that has terrible grammar. Go back to grade school.
Okay, I'll tell Stanley to do that.
Yeah, do it.
Next Ouija board.
Next
time.
Ouija board session.
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
It's a good movie. It's a Spider-Man movie. It's the first good Spider-Man movie since Spider-Man 2 from the original like Sam Raimi trilogy.
I'm coming home again. I'm coming home again. Thor Ragnarok.
The only good Thor movie, but it's still not that good. And also Jeff Goldblum's just Jeff Goldblum.
Thor Ragnarok? More like Thor Rag My Rock. Am I right, fellas? Black Panther.
It's a good movie, but it's a generic movie.
I put good music and set design, but horrendous CGI.
Oh god, the CGI in that movie was so bad, especially at the end.
Avengers: Infinity War.
Avengers.
Infinity War. I'm sorry.
The best Avengers movie, the best of all the Marvel movies.
That's the summary. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Bad.
Our Idiot Brother, but even more unfunny.
Yep.
Captain Marvel. Samuel L. Jackson and Cat. 10 out of 10.
That cat was the best. Was the star of that film.
And Avengers Endgame.
Spoilers.
Endgame. I saw. Endgame. I saw. I praise the Lord and break the law. I take what's mine and take some more.
I'm about to fucking walk out again.
Don't blame me. Blame Stanley.
Fuck Stanley.
So let's get into some Endgame. You ready?
Okay.
After taking 20 minutes to go through the summary, which is probably longer than the actual running length of all those films. Let's I guess start critiquing this film at its narrative and its plot. And I think the easiest way to do that is I guess we're gonna go through the Wikipedia plot summary. Oh my god. Because Wikipedia is the golden resource of humanity.
Wikipedia is the greatest way to spoil anything for you.
And I think what we're going to do, how we're going to set this up, is I'm going to read, and when you want to cut me off and critique the plot, or I'll come to a point where I can critique the plot, or anything about the film in general,
Yep.
We'll just cut me off. Okay, ready?
Right.
This is the Avengers Endgame as told by Wikipedia, the greatest resource to humanity. 3 weeks after Thanos used the Infinity Stones to disintegrate half of all life across the universe, Carol Danvers...
Okay, cool. Okay. For starters, the film starts off with going back to Hawkeye.
Oh, that's not in there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't count.
It does count, though. So, this is going to be spoiler full.
Yeah.
So many spoilers.
Yeah. I'm just going to put spoilers.
Yeah.
And
all throughout. If you haven't seen it yet, how? Like, it sold so many tickets, I feel like everybody's already seen it at least once. B, go see that. Why would you watch an entire video on it if you haven't seen it yet? C, at this point, you know that there's going to be spoilers in this, so, like, this is your fault now.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Hawkeye. The film actually starts with Hawkeye going back to right before the snap. Hawkeye's with his adorable family. He's retired. He's happy. And then he goes to, like, a grill. I think it was, like, a grill real fast. And he turns around and all of his family's gone. And you see the little...
I like how quick it went. Like, not how quick his family died, but how, like, quick that scene was.
Yeah, it was a very good scene and very quickly, like, brought him up to speed of, like, what happened to him.
Because, like, everyone knows, like, what happened to him.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of assumed, but, like, that could have took way longer than it did, and it came off relatively, like, painless to, like... Yeah. I guess, because it's just like a thing everyone already kind of assumed.
Yeah, it was a good moment to, like, quickly, like, introduce the family, establish the relationship and his care and, like, his character arc. Yeah, for the film.
So, Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel, or not Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel. I'm sorry, Marvel. She's a captain, not a miss. Rescues Nebula and Tony Stark. I actually like how Nebula is portrayed in this film. I think she's
had, like, the best character development of, like, every Marvel character throughout, like, the whole...
her and Rocket in this film, particularly, because I think because James Gunn kind of set it up in what are their names? Fuck.
The Russo brothers.
The Russo brothers
ran with it.
Fell through. This is the best film Russo brothers have done, because why I like Winter Soldier, it's not really a Marvel movie. And it really doesn't build off the what is the term, ensemble cast, like shows like Community they've done before have, and also Arrested Development. This builds off that.
I think Infinity War is better than Endgame, but that's another story for another time.
So Carol Danvers rescues Nebula and Tony Stark from deep space. Tony Stark does like a bunch of video diaries. I think his character in this is also a lot more legitimate than it was in Civil War, because he just came off as a dumbass who this, like, it follows through. Like, that's what I appreciate about it. It's like, I'm not saying he's a smart character, because he, like, whatever happened in Civil War was just completely stupid.
Yeah, that was like a bunch. The weird thing of Tony Stark throughout these films, which is, like, important to, like, talk about now, because, like, this film brought, like, his arc to an end. It brought Steve Rogers' arc to an end. It pretty much brought all the original Avengers arcs to an end. Is throughout the films, like, his character was kind of inconsistent of, like, how smart he was. Because you had, like, the first Iron Man where he's, like, cocky and smart and shit. You have the second Iron Man where he's still cocky and smart as shit, but, like, he's becoming, like, a better person. They have the first Avengers where, like, he's trying to take over, like, that. He's learning how to work with people because he's losing that loner side. He's still cocky as all hell because that's just Tony Stark. But then, like, by Avengers 2, he, like, does those stupid fucking Ultron thing where he's not thinking anymore, clearly. And then, like, by, like, Civil War, he's, like, completely, like, not who he was supposed to be. Like, his whole thing was, like, defend the Earth at all costs, but, like, literally signed into a thing that, like, prevents him from being able to immediately defend something. Like, it goes against, like, the character he had already developed. Then you fast forward to, like, Infinity War, and, like, you're starting to get, like, his actual character again. Like, Civil War was just a weird hiccup in his character development that didn't really make sense.
Yeah, I think that's probably why it's, like... It's not bad.
It's not bad.
I think I like Ultron more than Civil War.
I don't. I think that movie's just badly made.
I don't think it's terrible, actually.
I mean, it's not, like, terrible, but, like, compared to, like, a lot of the other ones, it's just kind of... Anyway, we're not here to rank the Marvel movies right now. We're talking about Endgame.
But, yeah, it just, like, follows through with his character. Yeah. So, like, it's the natural conclusion after that. Mm-hmm. Even though that beginning start was stupid, and it still is, it follows through. He has, like, responses that are very defensive of his previous actions, which is nice. They return to Earth and join the remaining Avengers, Natasha Romanoff, Bruce Banner, Steve Rogers, Rocket, Thor, and James Rhodes. Using Nebula's knowledge, they find an injured Thanos on an unguarded planet and intend to retake stones to reverse his actions, but he's already destroyed them to prevent further use. An enraged Thor beheads Thanos. This entire scene, I like how this, again, going back to how quick this was, this took all the time it needed to, and it set up the biggest amount of crippling depression I've ever seen in a film.
Yeah.
Or, like, not the biggest amount, but, like,
in a Marvel film.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, it's... That moment was clearly, like, all about, like, Thor's development. Because, like, he had that moment with, like, the axe where he, like, feels like he failed because he didn't go for the head. And so, like, he's, like, takes this, like, all of that rage and, like, his failure. Because now, like, it seems like his failure is, like, final. There's no undoing it. So, like, he's just... beheads Thanos, and at that exact moment, like, that's when Thor kind of died a little bit.
Yeah, and it also makes him serious, but he's still, like, throughout this entire film, like, super goofy.
He's still, like, they finally figured out how to make Thor entertaining, which is making him, like, goofy.
Yeah, which is nice.
It's really nice.
Because it's, like, now they're just, like, full masters of the universe with it.
Yeah.
Which is...
Because, like, the first Thor was, like, their whole comedy of him was, like, he's just super serious, but, like, it's naive of our planet, and, like, look how he doesn't understand how ordering coffee works. What a goof! Oh, that was really fucking bad. And then, like, in Dark World, it was like there was, like, no comedy at all. It was like, well, now he's worthy, so he's gotta be super serious. Oh, and I was like, this movie made me want to fucking gouge my eyes out because I was so fucking bored watching it.
Continue. Also, one thing I want to mention, I like how immediately we got the call back to I aim for the head.
Yeah.
Later on, when we get to see Thanos, they do, like, the same thing with Thor when Thanos is, like, axes him.
Yeah.
And, like, everyone I was seeing it with in the theater said aim for the head. But Thor doesn't say it. And it's the biggest, like, tease I've ever seen in a film. Yeah. They just didn't do it.
They just didn't do it.
5 years later, Scott Lang escapes the quantum realm and meets Romanoff and
because
Rogers.
of a fucking rat. The entire fate of everybody in the MCU who got dusted was saved by a goddamn rat dicking around on a computer by accident. Do you know how differently this could have gone if it hit the absolute worst possible button combination and, like, destroyed the machine and it was just gone forever? That's one of the biggest and at the same time dumbest Deus Ex Machinas, like, ever. That was, like, the scene when I watched this, I was like, that's really fucking dumb. Of all the fucking super geniuses in this series who could have just found their equipment and, like, figured it out, it's a fucking rat.
I think it's pretty mean they're calling Captain Marvel a fucking rat.
But he does have America's ass.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Lang explains also I like how he goes to the cemetery, or not cemetery, the monument.
Yeah.
And looks for his daughter. I just think that's a really well executed scene.
Yeah, when he comes back, like, they handled, like, his, like, trying to, like, figure out what happened very well, because they could have just immediately had, like, something really dumb or, like, a newspaper or something stupid like that. Yeah. But instead, like, it was, like, an actual, like, realistic of, like, pretty much coming out of a coma, like, trying to piece things together. Like, I think the only time I've seen a scene like that handled that well was, like, the opening of, like, The Walking Dead with Rick when he came out of his coma. And, like, and then with, like, the kid, or, like, he asks, like, hey, what goes on? And the kid just moves on. Like, how the fuck wouldn't you know about that?
Yeah.
Like, it was all just very well handled, and, like, it captured his emotional, like, process, and then when he finally finds his daughter again, it was all very very well handled.
Also,
And again, like, it didn't drag on. It was the exact amount of time it needed to be.
there's a scene where Captain America is essentially just running this therapy group, and one of the people says, "We missed the Mets." So apparently, baseball is gone. Like, it's not. I was talking with a friend Andrew about it, and Thanos' snap killed the remaining baseball fans, all 5 of them.
I mean,
They said it's like not
the odds were pretty good for that.
yeah, but it's like
I mean, I don't know. I think it kind of makes sense.
it makes sense, but like also it doesn't, because like I think some things would still continue.
I feel like it's one of those things where, like, after that much loss, the world would prioritize things differently, and
Yeah,
things
so
like
wrestling.
sports, wrestling, football, like, all of that would just kind of go by the wayside. So I feel like, and that's why you see, like, the stadium in disrepair, like, in the
You know, it doesn't go by the wayside. Fortnite. Fortnite is forever. Fortnite is snap proof.
They did put Thanos in Fortnite.
It was in the film too
I know.
with Thor. Thor's playing Fortnite.
I
And
know.
we'll get to that
I
in a
know.
second, because
I know.
I have a critique about it. Jesus Christ.
For every amazing scene in this film, there's, like, a really fucking dumb moment.
But like, here's the thing. Like, I think all the really dumb fucking moments are either things that like
They're all, like, not, like, film breaking moments. They're
no,
just,
like I think they're either things that this film isn't responsible for. So Captain Marvel's character,
Yeah.
or like trying to get Ant-Man out of a whatever place with a rat.
the quantum realm.
Like, those things I don't think are the I guess the fault of this film. They're the fault of
The
like,
rat is the fault of this film, because, again, you have Nebula, you have Stark, you have Banner still, you have all these fucking super geniuses,
no rat.
and then a rat just steps on the right button.
It could be Captain Strange or Doctor Strange traveling back in time. He put that rat very strategically there.
Shut up.
Just keep up.
Just
with it.
please shut up.
I gotta remember where it was. Link explains that he's only experienced 5 hours while trapped, theorizing that the quantum realm allows time travel. The three
Didn't we cover that, like, aspect already? Like, with literally every other Ant-Man movie? That, like, time in the quantum realm is different?
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't think it is at the same time, because didn't Goldie Hawn's character, or not, is that her name?
No, that was Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer's character. She's like old.
She, like, aged, but then, like, Scott Lang, I don't know, spent a lot of time in there and then, like, came back the same instant. It's like, they've established that, like, time is different. Like, even, like, in the expository dialogue in the first one, when Hank Pym, Michael Douglas, was, like, explaining, like, how the quantum realm worked, he even, like, saying that, like, time is different there. So they've established that time isn't correct in there, so I guess he needed the scene to tell the other Avengers, but, like, at the same time, like, it's just expository dialogue that we as an audience didn't need. So that could have been handled faster.
The three ask Stark to help them retrieve the stones from the past so they can reverse Thanos' actions in the present, but he refuses out of fear of losing his daughter, Morgan. Also, I like how Ant-Man in this film is just presented as a dumbass throughout. They just shit on him.
Yeah.
And I think it's great for his character arc, because out of all the Avengers, out of any of them, even Kraglin or whatever his name is, James Gunn's brother's character.
Oh,
Yeah. He's a dumbass. Like James, or not James Gunn.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd's just a dumbass, and I think it's good that they're getting this character out. I think they're also going to do the same thing with Star-Lord, and I think it actually fits his character more.
I don't know, the thing about, like, them turning Ant-Man into, like, a complete dumbass is that, like, he was an electrical engineer.
He's like he's a thief.
Yeah, like,
that's his skill.
He's a thief,
and it's like,
but he was, like, a competent, like, electrical engineer and, like, a thief in the first film, and then, like, they just kind of have progressively made him dumber, and not in, like, the Thor way where they made him goofy dumb, but, like, keeping with, like, the fact that he's always been kind of, like, naive. They just, like, have, like, progressively been, like, forgetting the fact that he was supposed to be, like, smart in the first one, which, like, it makes his character funner, but, like,
I think it canonizes more Ant-Man and Wasp because that was just stupid. That was just a dumb film.
Yeah.
Moving on. Lane explains he's only experienced 5 hours while trapped, theorizing the quantum realm allows time travel. The three I already read that. Yeah. Thanos' actions in the present, but he refuses out of fear of losing his daughter Morgan after talking with his wife Pepper Potts. Stark relents and works with Banner, who has merged his intelligence body.
Missing a key aspect of like why he did it, and that is like
his daughter.
Not like only his daughter, but like also like Peter. Because, like, he wants to get Peter back because, like, Peter kind of became, like, a son-like figure to him. And so, like, it's kind of like, yes, he might lose his daughter, but, like, he's already lost these people, and there's a possibility he can keep both.
Also, can we talk about Hulk in this film and, like, why they should have done this, like, 5 films ago? Like...
I think it should have happened... I think during Ragnarok, they should have set the pieces for it a little more than they did.
And I feel like...
Because, like... But, yeah...
Because if he gets destroyed by Thanos, like Hulk gets destroyed by Thanos in this film, and
repeatedly.
Here's like what I think about it is that if they were just gonna have that, if they were gonna have Hulk deal like the death blow, why, like try not to keep him Hulk? I guess.
Yeah.
I just found it because it was a weird like boner metaphor that just went on way too long.
Yeah. And
like how every time he was around Black Widow, he just couldn't be Hulk.
Yeah.
And it was just a dumb joke that went on way too long.
Yeah.
Banner and Rocket go to the Asgardian refugees' new home in Norway, New Asgard, to recruit a drunken, overweight Thor. This is where he's playing Fortnite. Yeah. Fortnite, like, it... One, like, if you're playing a competitive multiplayer game, you can't talk with the enemies. You can only talk to people in your squad.
Yep.
So either that one kid they're playing with was on their squad, and they keep on inviting them to the games. Or two, this takes place in a weird universe where it's all just, like, competitive game chat, which just sounds the best hellish. And the worst of humanity. That's what Thanos' plan was.
I like how this is what you're choosing to talk about and not overweight drunken Thor.
He's overweight drunken Thor. Like, that's just a continuum of his arc.
Yeah. Like, it makes sense if, like, for him to, like, sink into this depression. But I feel like they played it off almost, like, as too much of a joke. Like, hit the fact that he's, like, fat now. Is, like, it was, like, a joke. And it was, like, and then just kept going. I was, like, oh. And I feel like they could have handled... And why? So, like, he's a god. I didn't even think he had the workout. I thought he was just naturally like that, like, all the time.
He's, like, I think you just... drink so much beer at some point it's gonna ruin your composition.
Maybe I didn't think beer affected him because they had like the first 4 where like him and like whatever the fuck his name was, the scientist, like when it got drunk and 4 was fine and the other guy was fucking shit faced.
But like I guess Thor was actually doing battles then, if that makes sense.
Maybe
because he would get drunk and then he would fight, and now he's just drunk.
Well, he's fighting on Fortnite.
It's not different types of fights, Jonathan.
Still, I just don't think it makes sense for him to
I think I liked it. It's a cliche look into alcoholism, but it works.
Yeah.
It gets the job done.
I guess.
Just like alcoholism.
Wow.
Romanoff heads to Tokyo to recruit Clint Barton, Hawkeye.
I really like what they did with his like motivations, because like even he recognized like there's not like a lot of rationale. He's just like killing people who he didn't think of being worthy of surviving because his family didn't.
Yeah,
it's super dark and it takes like his character in like a natural route of like what somebody like him would do afterwards. It works, and it's like a really interesting concept.
I like how we get like 4 minutes of setup of him just like killing people,
just slaughtering the fuck.
Because like it just works because it takes you down a little route for a different second, and it's not too much. And I just think it works, and it adds action to a part that's really just exposition in the beginning.
Yeah.
Let me turn it from my place. Banner, Rogers, Lang, and Stark travel to New York City. Okay, so now their plan is get all the stones.
Yep.
So I don't know why this is not in the Wikipedia plot summary, but they want to get all the stones. So they're going to have to travel to different points of time. One has 3 stones in it, and that's in New York. One has 2 stones. That's back in 2014, I think.
Yeah, and then there's a different one.
The one in Thor: Dark World.
Yeah, so they had this. So they sent Thor and Rocket to get the Ethers, which was the one of the stones from Thor to Dark World. The only reason that film even matters at all.
The fact that that film mattered more than I think anyone intended it would be, it just pisses me off.
Yeah, and then you have.
But it's like, it's also provided like one of the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
Which is shitty. Like, damn you, Russo brothers, for trying to make something competent out of just like a terrible film, making it worthwhile.
It's such a bad film. Stop trying to make it relevant.
But Banner, Rogers, and Lang Stark travel to New York City in 2012. Banner visits the Sanctorium and convinces the Ancient One. The fact that this Ancient One is in this fucking film is the biggest meme.
Yeah.
That they took one of like the least fan favorite characters.
One of the like most controversial castings they've ever done. And then they killed off the character. I was like, you know, let's do it again. Let's just bring it back.
I think
shit.
The funny thing is, this is another stupid point. She knows about Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know about Doctor Strange taking the Infinity Stone.
Back in 2012, the Ancient One knew that Doctor Strange was going to come to her sanctum and become the greatest of all of them. But then when he does it, she's like, nah, fuck you. So I think
there's that, but it's also wouldn't she know ahead of time that I guess Endgame and the Infinity War?
I don't know.
Because she seems surprised.
I don't know how being an Ancient One works. It's
because she should see all of time, like Doctor Strange did, but she doesn't.
Yeah.
Because she's not ancient. She's just like some suburban white chick who got her hair cut off, and she's like, "Oh, look at me! I'm fresh. I don't have hair.
Yeah.
No one can hold me down, except for this time stone, which I won't fucking use."
Yeah. I don't know. There's like the time travel element in film is always such a risky thing, unless like the film is based around time travel. Which
I have a whole entire rant on that after we finish this. So.
Oh, great! Me too.
Yeah. So Roger successfully retrieves the Mind Stone, but Lang and Stark fail to retrieve the Space Stone after Loki escapes with it.
So that's a new timeline, I guess.
No, it's supposed to lead into Infinity War, which I didn't, I guess, realize.
I think, well, I don't know. I feel like it's supposed to create an alternate timeline because, like, they mentioned that during the whole, like, Ancient One thing where she was like, you take the stone and there's a timeline that branches off. Like, well, if we just put the stone right back, and they're like, well, the timeline, just go back to normal. I was like, well, okay, well, we have one timeline where Loki gets caught and the Tesseract stays, and the events of Avengers can happen, or no, the events of Ultron can happen because they used the what does the Tesseract get used again? Tesseract doesn't get used again until Infinity War.
Yeah,
when Loki
just pulls it out.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah,
but like he got it from Ragnarok. Anyway, point being is there's a separate time where Loki didn't get arrested, which means he won't be there for 4-2, which means that the Tesseract won't be there when he needs to take it from Ragnarok, which means he won't be able to give it to Thanos. But that doesn't matter because he wouldn't be there in Ragnarok at all because he's not in 4-2, which means he wouldn't end up being back there, pretending to be Odin. Fuck, these films are unnecessarily stupid. But, like,
yeah,
there's just, like, there's so many, like, weird elements, so, like, time travel does, and then it doesn't create alternate, like, realities.
We'll get into that. Let's not focus on time travel right now, because I think there's a basic summary to time travel in this universe.
It's called, it does whatever the fuck we want it to do.
So they, I'm lost in my place. But Lang and Stark fail to retrieve the Space Stone, and after Loki escapes with it, Rogers and Stark travel to S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters in 1970 and steal every earlier version of Space Stone as well as vials of Pym particles from Hank Pym, and then return to the present.
Here's a sudden issue that scene brings up to their plan. If the Pym particles were so rare and they had so little that they had to steal more when they failed the mission, why not just your first mission is just go steal a fuck ton of it? That way you have as many goddamn tries as you need.
I guess they didn't think about that until it was after.
I'm sorry, but if we were told we have a limited resource that we need to do our super vital mission to time travel, and we can't get more of it because the guy who made it right now is dead, my first response would be like, yeah, let's go back to when he wasn't dead.
I would say my response to that would be, fuck that. I need my instant gratification. I'm getting these Infinity Stones regardless of which, because I don't
because
care.
you have ADHD.
No, I need my instant gratification. Rocket and Thor travel to Asgard in 2014, retrieves the Reality Stone from Jane Foster, and Thor tames his former hammer, Mjolnir. More rad in 2014, Nebula and Rocket. Or one thing I skipped over, the scene between Tony Stark and his dad, and Thor and his mom, both really touching, but both the same type of story. And it's weird that they're next to each other.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them are bad. It's just weird that they're happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? One after the next.
I don't know. I felt like they were like different enough because like with Tony, there was like no like able to actually talk about it, so they had to like beat around the bush about like a lot of fans, and it made it a little more comedic than touching. But then with like Thor, it was like his mother like is a witch, so she knows that she's about to die, and she knows that this is a son from the future who's already had to witness her die. And so like it adds like a much more weight to that scene because like now she knows going forward that like she's gonna have to not get to actually say goodbye to her son until like a lot longer later after her death. Because time.
Rhodes returns to the present with the Power Stone, while Nebula is unable to return due to her cybernetic implants interfacing with those of her 2014 self. This is where it just gets stupid.
Yeah,
this
so
is where
like,
time travel gets worse.
So they have the fucking best goddamn Wi-Fi in space, apparently.
Thanos Wi-Fi. He pays Spectrum up the ass.
Up.
And I will leave that there because I want to go back. I just want to get through this. Through the connection, the Thanos. They put the Thanos.
The Thanos?
The Thanos.
The Thanos.
That's not me because I just copy and pasted.
There is multiple Thanoses, but this is the Thanos.
This is the Thanos that matters. The one with the big old butt cheeks of that time. Learns of his future success and the Avengers attempts to undo it. If I was Thanos, I would also realize that, like, regardless of whatever I do, I'm going to fail. So I'm just going to go take a nap. Eat some Cheetos and like just not do that.
Yeah.
And then rest for 7 years until my inevitable fate where I kill off half the world.
Yep.
But he doesn't do that. Instead, he like wants people to get the stones for him. His weird thing is that he wants people to get the stones for him. And he like sits on his ass half the time.
Yeah.
Until like random moments.
It's like you're literally the strongest being in the universe. And you're just like, you do this for me. And like, I know this is like, my entire plan hinges on this. And you're a lot weaker than me. But you know what, you do it for me.
But like, wouldn't the most, if he's following that method, wouldn't the most Thanos thing to do would be having all the stones come to him like it does in Infinity War? If it was going to be inevitable, why waste energy on it until we get to like 2017?
Yeah, if he knew in the future that like the half thing doesn't work anymore, the plan, and he knows that future him will get the stones, the better plan is to keep that in mind that half doesn't work anymore, and then just wait for them to get them then instead of having snap, do like the full snap. Because you already know you get that one off fine. So Thanos is just fucking stupid.
Thanos captions present day Nebula and sends 2014 Nebula President Barton and Romanoff travel to Vormir in the same year and learn from the Soul Stone's keeper, the Red Skull. The fact that Nebula didn't tell anyone that Gamora.
Yeah, that was really fucked up on Nebula's part, and I was thinking that the whole time I watched. It's like Nebula knows that. Like, her sister went with Thanos to there, and that she died there, and she even knows why she died there, because she knew that in Infinity War, she's the one who explained it to Peter Quill so he could fuck up everything. To not tell them that one of them was not going to come back is, like, the biggest dick move.
She probably, like, she probably sent, like, the two most people she hated. Hawkeye and Black Widow. Black Widow's arc in this is she's just like independent woman, and then she dies.
I think
there's some better aspects to it.
I think it makes actually a lot of sense.
It makes sense, like, but like I don't think it's the most interesting.
No, but like her whole thing has always been like she has like that past that like she regrets and she wants to make up for it, and like Hawkeye was the only person who ever like believed in her and like got her out there, and so like this is her one chance to like remove the red from her ledger and like redeem herself in her eyes, and to also save the person from the same thing that he had to save her from.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense from like how they build up the character for all these years.
I think when it comes to the theme of who's going to kill the other person, or who's going to die,
Yeah.
it's very dumb on Hawkeye's part
Yeah.
to sacrifice himself. Just like, he has a family. He's been killing people because of his family. Why now?
Yeah,
When someone doesn't like, why do you sign to like hero up now, anti-hero? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
I get that like Black Widow is somebody you care about, but like, do you not care about your wife and daughter and sons more? Like,
I guess not. that scene went on for like way longer than it needed
for
to.
every scene that we've talked about, how like perfectly short it was, that scene was too long.
That was the one I thought was way too long. Also, Red Skull's still there. Like,
Well, yeah, of course he's still there.
no, but like, wouldn't he be? I guess it's another time paradox thing with Infinity War. He would be gone because I don't know. What does he do with his free time?
He sits there.
Does he do what Captain Marvel does?
No, because he's a ghost. I don't think he got a dick
Is he
anymore.
a ghost? I thought he.
I think he's supposed to be like some kind of like spirit, like trapped to that like mountain, purely to like explain to people how the Soul Stone works and like how to get it. I think that's literally all he does. I don't think he's allowed to do anything else. I'm pretty sure he just pretty much just sits there and waits. Now, if he is tangible,
He is a ghost.
I'm
dick.
sure he's fucking masturbating.
He's
all
a
the
ghost
time.
dick.
He's masturbating that ghost dick.
Ghost dick.
But like, yeah, I think even once the Soul Stone would be captured, I don't think he's allowed to leave, especially if they put the Soul Stone back.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, they do put the Soul Stone back,
Yeah, they put all the stones back.
which is weird. Thinking of just Steve Rogers going off in space
Yeah.
by himself.
With a hammer
Yeah.
to murder some shit.
Black Widow sacrifices himself, allowing Barton to claim the stone. After retrieving all the Infinity Stones, the Avengers create a gauntlet using Stark's armor to harness them, which Banner uses to restore those whose Thanos is disintegrated.
Which Thanos' gauntlet was created special for him in the heart of a dying star by a magical giant dwarf. It
No.
was specially made to be channel the stone's power into the glove to let the user wield them all. And Tony Stark's just like, my nanotech can do the same shit.
Well, like, it's the same way you can, like, get custom-made furniture from Italy, but you can also buy, like, a fucking recliner off Amazon, and it comes to your house in 2 days.
That is not even remotely the same.
Thanos did it for art.
I don't.
He did it for art. He wanted to be classy. Iron Man was just like, I'll make this in, like, an hour.
I don't think that's a good explanation.
I think so. It's Thanos trying to flex. He's trying to flex. That's all it is.
I don't think so.
I
I
think
think it's
that's what
just.
it
I think
is.
it's just a bad plot device.
He's trying to flex.
It's a bad plot device.
Where we are. Present day Nebula convinces the 2014 version of her sister Gamora to turn against. Oh no, that's way too far ahead. 2014 Nebula uses. Nope. How far am I back? Which banner uses there? I guess it skips the Wikipedia. This Wikipedia is not accurate. Wikipedia is the greatest resource to man, but like it messed this up.
I mean, like, it's for a movie that's only in theaters,
yeah. Oh well.
and has only been in theaters for like, as of like shooting, not even a full week.
But how diehard a lot of Marvel fans are, I'm surprised it's not
That's
like
true. Not like perfect.
But also, these are the only main points because there's no movie
And
besides
describing
these.
like every shot in like great cinematic detail, like, and then in a medium close-up shot.
2014 Nebula uses the time machine to transport Thanos to the present, and he attacks the Avengers compound, planning to remake the universe from scratch with the stones. I also like how there's a scene. We're getting into the whole entire battle thing. Like Ant-Man and Hulk and them are all covered in rumble, and like Ant-Man's running around like, I'm here. I straight up thought for a second he was up Thanos' butthole. Not even gonna lie. I literally thought that's what they were setting up. straight up, not gonna lie.
You were way too into that meme.
I know I should be selling my meme stocks now, but I'm really diehard with my memes until they die. You know?
That one's dead.
It's not dead. It has to last until like the film comes out on DVD, then it can die.
And you can confirm there's not a deleted scene of Ant-Man going up Thanos' ass.
I'm surprised they didn't make a reference to it. If they don't,
I'm not.
because like I feel like it, like that.
The last time a superhero movie referenced a meme, we got "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch." So like, it's best that we just keep memes out of superhero movies.
No, I feel like we're gonna get an Ant-Man 3. We're gonna get like a reference. He's like, yeah, I could have.
And we also got that shitty "What are those?" moment in Black Panther.
Well, that's a bad meme. This is like this is like crafted prime meme material that you could write into a joke that would actually be helpful for the character. Like, because like Ant-Man could be like, yeah, I could have saved the world at any time. I could have just flown up Ant-Man or Thanos' butt. Like, that's all the reference needs to be. It doesn't need to be him like flying up his butt. And it would just be him being a cocky idiot.
Can we move on?
No.
Please. I don't want to talk about Thanos' ass anymore. I had all the time.
Present-day Nebula convinces the 2014 version of her sister Gamora to turn against Thanos and kills the 2014 version of herself.
Which I think that's inaccurate because like Gamora was like well on her way to betraying Thanos. Like at that point in time in the original like timeline, and as the timeline stands, I don't think really Nebula had to do anything. I think Gamora just like
did on her own. I think that's a wrong line. It's miswritten. Restored Stephen Strange arrives with fellow sorcerers, the restored Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy
They're
as well.
just completely skipping over the fact that Cap picked up Thor's hammer in like one of the most badass scenes in the movie.
So we get that like sword scene I talk about where they kind of blue balls
that happens
you.
that happens before Stephen Strange and all them show up.
Yeah, but it happens and they blue balls you, but like it makes sense. People are having a problem with it. It makes sense because they set up an Ultron.
Yeah.
Like,
and like it even makes sense though like Cap would not do it then because like he was the only one who's sober because they established in the first Captain America that he can't get drunk because of how his metabolism works. It's like he'd be sober, he'd be like, oh shit, I shouldn't do this in front of Thor. He'd be upset, so then he pretends not to. Whereas like a drunk person would be like, yeah, look at this shit. So like it makes sense.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with it. Some people have had a problem with it.
Those people can fuck. It's even in the comics. In the comics, even Captain America's picked up the hammer before.
I think in the comics also Black Widow has picked up the hammer before.
Yep. As has the Hulk.
Hulk? Yeah, Hulk could do it. He's just big, strong. Like, no amount of that hammer, the amount of might that the hammer does not want to be lifted can't be matched by Hulk.
That's literally how it was. He got so pissed that he couldn't pick it up that he got so strong he picked it up.
Yeah.
Because comics are fucking stupid.
Comics are great. Where we are. Stephen Strange arrives with fellow sorcerers, the restored Avengers, and Guardians of the Galaxy, as well as the armies of Wakanda,
and
Asgard.
Howard the Duck.
And Howard, I actually wrote that down as an Easter egg, but I was going to talk about for a brief instance, but you brought it up. Howard the Duck is in the scene. I can only assume he's dead.
I can't imagine Howard the Duck managed to survive that battle. Which...
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
But yeah, I
now we won't get a Howard the Duck movie.
I think a Howard the Duck would actually be a decent like.
I feel like if
comedy
the right
show.
people were involved, but the first time Howard the Duck was streaming was so bad.
They played that movie a lot on HBO like 2 years ago.
Oh my god!
It was like I remember
why
I remember eating Thanksgiving dinner and that was on TV. And we watched it, and my dad's just like, "This movie sucks." I'm like, "Yeah,
it's fucking Howard the Duck."
And we continued watching it.
It's the ultimate. It's one of the things that has like proven to me that George Lucas is in fact an idiot.
Oh, is that George Lucas?
Yeah, he produced it.
He is an idiot. Like, you didn't need that. You just need.
No, I need the prequels.
You just needed his existence.
That's true.
They fight Thanos' army alongside. Captain Marvel just shows up out of the blue. She wasn't part of the timeline, the time travel. She wasn't part of...
No, and I feel like she would have been really helpful for that. I feel like they realized with her character that they made her too powerful, and they're like, she would solve everything way too quickly.
I have a theory. I have a comparison to her. She's the Roman Reigns of the Marvel Universe. Roman Reigns in wrestling is someone who can, at any moment, beat anyone. But WWE realizes he's too strong, or they've made his character too strong, so they'll have him lose like a jackass a lot, and they'll like give him dumb, like awkward phrases. Same thing they do to Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Because she's awkward, but they never write her right. Like, she could be the best type of awkward, but like no one wants to no-sell her, I guess. If like, not no one wants to no-sell her, they no-sell her, but no one builds off the fact that she's really awkward.
Yeah.
And it doesn't come off as character trait, it just comes off as bad writing.
Yeah.
Same thing goes with Roman Reigns. And she's just shittier. She's shittier than Superman. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
But Superman at least has kryptonite. She doesn't have anything except for masturbating in space for long
She
periods
has
of time.
being written out of the plot for reasons.
Yeah. And
Vague reasons, too. It was just like, this is happening on other planets. I was like, yeah, but like, here's where we're undoing it, and we can fix all those planets here.
yeah.
I feel like that would take priority.
Yeah.
We're trying to save Samuel L. Jackson, and cats are included in that 50%. I'm pretty sure that poor cat's gone too. Bring the cat back, Captain Marvel. Bring the cat back.
It's just she's too OP.
Yeah, I want a buddy cop movie that's just
Samuel L. Jackson,
yeah,
the cat.
and the cat. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. They fight Thanos' army alongside Danvers, but Thanos seizes the stones after overpowering Thor, Rogers, and Danvers. We got the nice moment of Iron Man looking at Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange puts up the one, and he was like, "Yeah, this is the one timeline where we fucked up." I lied. And Iron Man does the quick skirmish, which I don't like. Kind of how it's set up. It makes sense, but I don't think wouldn't. I think that would be a lot more of like a flourish he would have to do to like steal the stone.
I think it has to do more with the fact that those are his nanite like things, so like he's able to like control them once he touches them and like move them over like using the nanite.
Okay.
It's still stupid, but
that scene where we get Iron Man is fantastic, and
yeah,
then he dies. Also, we had Pepper Potts. She was
shows up as rescue.
that was cool. But yeah, Stark steals stones back and disintegrates Thanos and his army, but is mortally wounded as a result, following Stark dies. I like how him and Pepper Potts' moment is. It's like, you can rest now, giving him comfort as he's dead.
And I like the moment with him and Peter.
Was really nice too. Yeah. Nice closer of that. Following Stark's funeral, Thor appoints Valkyrie as new king of Asgard and joins Guardians of the Galaxy. Also at Stark's funeral, we got
the kid from Iron Man 3.
Yeah, there's that, but also Happy Hogan's moment with his daughter is really sweet.
Hamburgers.
Yeah, it's really sweet. Kind of making reference to Iron Man 1.
Yeah, where I want two things. I want you to hold a press conference. I want an American cheeseburger.
Also, I want a box of scraps in a cave. Quill begins searching for the 2014 Gamora, and that scene where they just shit on Star-Lord is fantastic.
Yeah, every scene now where Star-Lord is getting shit on is a scene I approve of.
It's like, I think Thor is actually the new star of this film. Like, the only problem, one of my biggest complaints with the film is Drax only has, like, the one knife line. Mm-hmm. I think if you have Triple H pull out your nose ring during a wrestling match, just pull it out with a pair of, like, pliers, you should at least get, like, 5 minutes running time.
Yeah. There's some good scenes that we didn't talk about going through the plot line. We have the scene where Peter comes back, and like he's talking to Tony, and then Tony gives him a hug.
Yeah,
which is because like Peter was always the one to like hug him. And
yeah,
does like just get in the door. And good callback. We're not done actually talking, so we still have to talk about the ending.
Yeah,
with Steve. Keep going.
Cool. Okay, yeah, we went through that. Roger returns the Infinity Stones and Mjolnir. Bon Jovi to the original places in time. Then he chooses to remain in the past, marry Peggy Carter. This is not actually confirmed. This is not confirmed. So Wikipedia is on their shit. Yeah, they're off their shit.
We didn't confirm if they got married. Maybe they just fucked a bunch.
It doesn't. It doesn't even confirm it's Peggy Carter.
That's
they
true.
danced,
yeah.
but like
he met
it said you met a girl. It doesn't mean it's Peggy Carter.
Well, no, they never said he met a girl. They said he wanted to tell me about her, and he said nah.
Yeah.
And
So
the
what-
reason he doesn't want to tell you about it is because, like,
It's a guy.
no, because in Civil War, Cap kissed
Yeah.
Peggy's niece, which should also be his niece.
Tender.
Look,
tender kiss from your uncle.
I feel like there's just this understood
weird old
thing
uncle.
now ever since Back to the Future. Like, if we're gonna do time travel, incest has to be a part of the plot.
It's always
It's just has to be there. It's not a choice anymore.
in the present. And elderly Rogers passes on the shield to Sam Wilson, which I think is nice that it didn't go to the Bucky,
Yeah.
because Bucky's not really that good of a character.
Nah.
But what was actually funny is Black Panther passed on the monitor to Bucky, so Bucky is the new Black Panther.
I feel like you just made that up.
No, it's true.
He's
the
made
new
that
Black
up.
Panther.
He's not the
Black Panther comes off as a complete G in this film. Like, it's like I feel like just him alone, not like him. He comes like he's really good in that role.
Yeah.
When he doesn't have to speak, because it's like I don't know. I've seen some of Black Panther.
You didn't watch all Black Panther?
No, because CGI is bad.
That's fair.
CGI is bad. Set design's good. I've listened to Black Panther soundtrack. That's good. Kendrick's good.
Yeah.
But he's also not Black Panther. If Kendrick was Black Panther, I watched the entire film.
That would be a strange movie.
And if the rumors are true, Black Panther 2 with Gambino, I watched all of that.
Gambino's gonna
He's gonna be like a villain. It's rumored.
Oh, so they're gonna actually turn him into I think it was Prowler, and then like
I don't think so. I think they might. I think that's what I've been thinking about, but I don't think it's. I think
like
it's
that's who he plays.
Yeah,
Is he
I don't think
plays-
that's gonna be him though. I think it would be cool if it was Prowler because it would continue continuity, but I don't think that's. And there's been a precedent for you don't have to be the villain of your I guess comic book to be a villain.
Yeah.
So like the villain in Ant-Man 2 was an Iron Man villain because Ant-Man's villains are really shitty.
No, just because like the character that Donald Glover played in the first Spider-Man was.
I know. I was just setting a precedent that it could be.
I hope it is. That was a cool character.
So yeah, that's the summary of Wikipedia and our added additions. Mm-hmm. Time travel in this film fucking sucks.
Yeah. Time travel in general, unless your film is built around time travel, i.e., Back to the Future, Looper. What's another good Time Bandits? What's another good time travel movie?
Here's the thing: my problem with time travel movies is I don't like them unless they're just. It's just the idea it's all constant.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the idea of you go back in time and you change the future. That's not how it works. It's all like one timeline. That's how real world works. If real world time,
But we don't know that.
it's either here's how time travel works in our world as I think it is. Two options. One, it's all one plane. There's not like if you go back in the past and do something, it changes the future. It just sets up events. Your impact on the future is left, but it's always been left.
So like things don't change because that's how it's always been.
Bang.
Like time travel. So basically, you believe in like fate. Like everything was always fated to happen this way, and like time travel doesn't like because time travel.
It's not fated, but if you go back in time, and step on a bug. That bug was always going to be stepped on by you because it already happened. It's not just. It's always been in your past. It's always been there because it's one plane. There's no like going back. You can go back and like push yourself off the bug, but that's always how it's gonna been. It's like, it's always that one thing. You can't change the past because it's already happened. Option 2, you go back in time and you like just destroy the universe.
That's probably the most likely.
It's like you create a black hole essentially.
Anywho, but no, like time travel, like when it's thrown into like a world that already exists, and like Harry Potter did it. Now Avengers has done it. X-Men did it.
X-Men did it a lot.
Yeah.
To the point where they're just recreating arcs from previous times.
It's like, look, we made a movie that's bad. Like, how do we fix it? It's like time travel. What? Like, we make a movie, with time travel, to change the past, so we can remake the bad movie. It's like, brilliant. Also, fuck you.
Yeah, it's like I think my assumption as timeline works is kind of like what you said. It's just like, or something you said was the Infinity Stones create their own timelines, their own like little pocket universes.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how it works.
It's weird. It's like in the thing they established that like they have to like reset everything to how it was, but then there's a lot of times where like they very clearly didn't. So either what the ancient one said happens, or like these timelines split off and are different.
I think the only one that splits, the only two that split off is Gamora's, Thanos's, Loki's.
Yeah, so like you have like when Loki like goes away, that splits off. But then you also have to think we also have this new timeline where like the events of Winter Soldier are much different because like Shield thinks Cap's a member of Hydra because he made that line. So like that movie would be very different in
Yeah,
that
I didn't
universe.
even think about that.
You have a new universe where Thanos is just gone after 2014. You have a new universe where
I don't know why that made me laugh.
yeah, you have a new universe where Loki steals the Tesseract and dicks off to who fucking knows where. We have a new universe where the Soul Stone's already been claimed from the area, and like if it can be put back in there, like I don't even know how that would work. But I guess maybe that one doesn't change that much. But and then we have another universe where Steve becomes his love interest's own uncle, which is weird. But then also like so, but if that does separate out a new timeline different from the one that they're in, why is he able to age into their timeline? And like I had somebody, a friend, had told me that like the Russo's kind of like no, he just traveled back to the original timeline once he had aged.
But like, how does he show up in the current time?
Yeah, like if that okay, then cool. He uses the watch thing, I guess, if he kept that the whole time, like a jackass. But like that doesn't work because he would have to come back through the machine. When we clearly saw that he didn't, he somehow shows up on a park bench. So the only way he could get there is if he aged through the timeline, went there to leave his shield, and then vanish with his old man bones. So like they set up rules and they like try to keep them, and then they like release like a bunch of possibilities, which I guess since they do have that Loki TV show coming out, like for their like streaming, I guess maybe they're using that alternate timeline for that.
Yeah.
But like it brings up a lot of questions of these like alternate timelines, which wouldn't be that big of a deal if you didn't have the scene of the Ancient One stressing how important it was to not create these alternate timelines.
Yeah.
So, like, you establish, like, let's not do this. And you're like, but let's also do it. Because, you know, we're bored. And, like... that's
the time travel is just wrong.
Yeah, time travel is just wrong.
It's just
and,
wrong.
like, I feel like it was a really... I feel like it makes the plot really fucking complicated. Like, to a point that it doesn't need to be. B, I feel like there was, like, so many other ways they could have handled this plot by just not having Thanos fucking destroy the Infinity Stones, and then it could have been like a different like plot line for it. Like I get they wanted like a bunch of cool throwbacks to like their 22 years, but you know what's a cool throwback? Him saying I am Iron Man at the very end.
And Ant-Man flying up his butthole.
And yeah, that's a great throwback.
Throwback.
Like there's tons of good throwbacks just by like being references to things without like directly showing us scenes again. We didn't need to see Loki again. I was happy thinking he was dead and I wasn't gonna see him anymore. I was fine with that. I didn't give a shit. I know everybody's like Tom Hiddleston, oh Loki's such a great character. Like I thought he was okay. I thought he lasted a lot longer than he really needed to, so I was happy to see him die. But like yeah.
Time travel is wrong.
Time travel's wrong. However,
It's wrong.
it's wrong.
It's just wrong.
It's just wrong.
Because, again, how I think it works,
I don't care how you think it works.
it's just one plane.
Look,
You can't change the past because it's
I get
already
playing
happened.
around- I think it's a fun thought experiment, which is why I like time travel movies like Looper and Back to the Future.
one plane.
But like when you bring it into a world that's already been established of like it doesn't have time travel, it brings up a lot of things. Another question is if if it clearly doesn't matter that much if you take somebody out of their fucking timeline and plop them into this new one, use the time machine, go back just a little bit, get Tony Stark with the kid, so he still has all the memories. Bring him out. Let that timeline be whatever the fuck it's gonna be. Bam, you got Tony Stark back, and he can keep living with his kid. And he even explained out like, yeah, you're gonna fucking die soon. We saved your ass, and you don't think he would complain. Go back to further back. Grab Black Widow. Bring her back. Boom. Nobody has to fucking
Jonathan,
die.
you're just
Let's go back even further. Get Quicksilver for fucking who cares.
You're making...
Go get Vision.
You're making this segment... Okay, wait. That's the one interesting one. If you bring Vision back, would there be 2 Infinity Stones in the same plane?
Yeah.
2 of the same...
Except no, because they took the stones back. But then you can take him and then you have the stone again. Just that one. You only need that one.
Okay.
Look, clearly they don't care about the other timelines anymore.
You made the segment, one particular segment, go on for too long. I know time travel is wrong. It's flat.
No, stop with that.
It's flat. That's all you need to know.
We do not know that. We do not understand the fourth dimension that well.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
You've studied that much quantum physics?
I can tell you that if it was happened, the logical thing would just be you go back in time, it already happened. If not, 2 options.
If multiverse theory is a thing, then that makes sense. But we don't know if multiverse theory is true or not.
It's real because of Rick and Morty. You have to have a high IQ to understand it, Jonathan. And I made you cringe so bad that you finally shut up. Good.
I'm gonna fucking walk out of here again.
Okay, so Joe Russo actually makes a cameo in The Fear, and he plays a non-straight. Yeah. Yay or nay on him having a queer portrayal in this film?
I don't know if he's actually gay or not.
No, like having a portrayal of it.
Oh, just like of a gay character just in there, and then it's nonchalant, and nobody draws it. Good.
Okay.
Yeah, like,
that's why I thought.
Attention to like. It's always such a weird thing of like queer portrayal, or like they want to bring attention, like, hey, look what we're doing, and to just have it be like a nonchalant thing that like nobody really draws attention to and nobody makes a comment about is like what actual representation should be, or like characters are just gay and that's just they are. And we don't need to like bring attention to, or like look how progressive we're being. It's just that character's gay.
Also, one thing of note, Ken Jeong and Yvette Nicole Brown from Community also appear in this film as Easter eggs to continue off the other Community Easter eggs that have been in Winter Soldier and Civil War. So that's nice. I don't know if there was an Infinity War. I don't know if there was, but there's 2 in here, so I guess that counts. It's 2 films. Here, we're going to play a little game real quick, and hopefully it doesn't take too long. Are they dead? Okay. Yay or nay?
Okay.
Iron Man. Is he dead?
Yes, but time travel, they can bring him back.
The Vision.
Yes, but time travel, they can bring him back.
Okay. How about this? Will they bring him back?
Oh,
Iron Man.
No.
Vision?
Maybe. There's a TV show with Wanda and Vision together.
Just don't
so yes, but like I don't know if it's going to be in the movies or just a TV show.
Okay. Black Widow.
No. They have a prequel movie. That movie's probably going to be a prequel.
Captain America.
Here's the thing. Steve Rogers said he's willing to come back, but I don't think they'll bring him back for a movie.
Okay. Loki.
No.
He's dead in that timeline.
I think the TV show obviously is going to be set in the alternate timeline, but in that timeline he's dead.
The previous Nebula. The one that died.
Why? Why would they? They still have the good Nebula.
I feel like she's going to come back.
Well, no, then why? That would just be pointless and dumb.
Because it's going to be Guardians Volume 3, and
that's true. That it's Guardians was willing. Like I feel like James Gunn's willing to do stupid shit like that.
But like I feel like you could as like a something
as a joke, but
as like have her be the villain, I guess.
Yeah.
Either Gamora.
2014 Gamora will come back. I don't think the Gamora that got killed for the Soul Stone will.
Okay. So we're gonna go through these films. These are all and the TV shows. There's all coming TV shows. What we're gonna do? Are you gonna watch this in the theater? Are you gonna watch it from home? Are you gonna skip it? Or is it just not gonna be in existence? Is it just not gonna come out?
Okay.
Ready?
Ready.
Ant-Man, Dark Phoenix. So these are all Marvel, and this includes Sony's Spider-Verse, 2 of them, and the X-Men Foxverse.
That's not gonna exist. You have X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Okay. Are you gonna watch it, or are you not gonna watch it?
You said Ant-Man Dark Phoenix.
No, did I? I'm sorry.
Okay, X-Men Dark Phoenix?
Yeah.
Home, because I have watched every other movie in that series. I'm not gonna pay to see this shit in theaters. I will watch it because my older brother will inevitably buy it and put it on the Vudu account, and I'll watch that.
Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Of course, I love Spider-Man. Feeder.
The New Mutants, which I didn't even know.
I don't think that's coming out anymore.
It says it's coming out in August.
I honestly don't. I don't think it's going to. Oh, yeah, it's not going to. I really don't think it's going to.
Okay.
It might show up on like the Disney streaming thing once that deal completes, but I don't think it's going to show up in theaters. And if it is, it's going to be so fucking bad.
Gambit still has a release date of March 13th, 2020.
That's not.
It's not coming out.
That movie has existed for so fucking long. It's not coming out, especially not after the merger.
Black Widow, which has a estimated release date of 2020.
Probably at home. I'm kind of burnt out on superhero films. If it wasn't for Spider-Man, which I just love, I probably wouldn't be seeing that more in theaters.
I really don't care. Yeah. The Eternals, which is
no, because like the idea of introducing like that type of shit into this universe is a bad idea.
I want to see it, but I think it's going to be bad.
Yeah. It's gonna make the Marvel universe even more ridiculous and convoluted than having time travel already did.
Yeah.
So,
Black Panther 2, which comes out in 2021.
That one I might see in theaters.
If it has Don Glover in it.
Yeah, if it has Don Glover in it, and if like, yeah,
that's the only reason I would see it is because Don Glover. Doctor Strange 2.
Home.
I'm not gonna watch that one.
I'm probably gonna eventually like watch all of them because like I'm just stupid and a completionist. But
Into the Spider-Verse 2.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I really like
Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse 1 I think kind of set up the formula this one used. It's just a lot of fanfare.
Yeah.
An all-female Spider-Verse spinoff.
Yeah. It's a Spider-Verse spinoff. Look, so long as they keep the style as dope as it was, and they keep the writing and the comedy and everything as like top notch as it was for the first one, I'll watch anything Spider-Verse related.
Shang-Chi.
What?
He's the Marvel's first Asian-led superhero that's going to be getting his own film.
If it gets good reviews, I might see it in theaters. Otherwise, I'll probably just wait till home.
I'm interested to see what it is.
Yeah.
So if it looks interesting, or if it looks like Iron Fist, I'm not going to watch it.
If it looks like it's going to be like Iron Fist season 1, fuck that noise.
Here's one. Venom. Venom.
Is there another Venom movie?
Yeah,
I still haven't seen the first one.
I will not watch this. I do think it will somehow probably become canon. And I'll get into it.
I don't think it's going to become Marvel's cinematic MCU canon.
I have a theory about it. I feel like they might.
I don't think they will.
As a way to be on good terms with Sony.
I don't think they're going to. I think Sony wants to keep them separate anyways.
Morbius. Spider-Man villain. It's going to be played
Jared Leto in it. Fuck no.
Yeah, I'm not. Logan spinoff with the girl.
I like Logan, so yeah, I'll probably watch that one in theaters.
I probably won't. I think Logan's arc's done.
If they get the director of Logan to do it, yeah. But if it's somebody else like coming into it, probably not. But like if it's the same creative team, yeah.
Yeah. Miss Marvel, not Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, which is Marvel's first Muslim superhero. Sounds interesting.
It sounds interesting. Again, it's one of those fans. If it gets good reviews, I'll see it.
If it's like Captain Marvel, I will not watch it. But if it's like
I think it's gonna be different. She has different powers, anyways. So.
And if it's like I guess I don't know what's a good comparison. If it's like Thor Ragnarok, I guess I'll watch it, or something like Guardians, where it's a little bit more comic booky instead of serious action.
Yeah,
where you have to take her as a legitimate person instead of like a comic book hero.
Yeah, I'm hoping the Marvel in the future goes more comic booky, but not too comic booky, which is what the Eternals will do.
Yeah.
But now they have Fantastic Four. Like, you can't do Fantastic Four without them being ridiculous.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the TV show.
Well, I don't know if I want to buy the Disney streaming platform to watch it.
I'm not watching any of these.
Yeah, I probably won't. Like, I don't know. They have some good chemistry together. I think, like, actually, like, Sebastian Stan and, like, the Falcon, like, they're both, like... Sebastian Stan I do not like as an actor, but I like his chemistry with him a lot more than with, like, Captain America.
WandaVision.
No.
Yeah, I just think that's a dumb title. That's what it's being called.
It's a dumb title, and like honestly,
it's all one word.
I don't see what their story could even be.
It's just a lot of what is it? Infinity Stone sex.
Yeah, and like honestly, like I didn't really like them that much, like as a couple. In the comics,
just seemed very forced.
It seemed forced. They didn't have good chemistry together. Like, in the comics, sure, but, like, in the movies, the two performers just could not act well together.
Loki.
No.
It just seems really boring. It seems like Dark World.
That's
what it would be.
It seems why. Why? Honestly, why? Haven't we got enough fucking Loki?
Hawkeye, if we get more of Hawkeye as his character Ronin,
Yeah.
or is that what it was called? What was his character in this film called?
I think it's called Ronin.
Yeah, if we get more of that,
That'd be dope.
that I'm interested in that. 'Cause
Yeah.
that would be like gritty crime.
But if it's just
Anti-hero.
like another like Agents of Shield or something like
fuck
that,
that.
but focused on Hawkeye, no.
Okay, here. Where will we see these heroes come into fore? Since of the Fox merger deal,
Okay.
will we see an X-Men, or where will we see an X-Men?
I think they're gonna bring X-Men in. I think they're gonna make, now that they've established like the idea of multiple timelines, they'll create like an X-Men universe that's like separate and then like do a merging, and we'll get like an X-Men versus Avengers comic book plotline. I think that'd be the smartest way to bring them in.
I think we're gonna start seeing the end of Spider-Man 2, and I think this is for anyone I'll bring up futurely in the future with these characters. We're gonna start seeing the universe kind of implode a little bit because of the time travel, and we're gonna see universes kind of break together, or start to form, and any plethora of these characters can show up. I think the ones that are most likely are not really X-Men, but actually Fantastic Four.
I think the Fantastic Four.
But they won't get their own movie. They will just
I
be.
really don't want them to get their.
They
own movie.
won't. They will just become side characters to Avengers and Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Deadpool and X-Force.
They've already said that Deadpool, they're going to keep making the movies. I feel like if they were smart, they would keep Deadpool like its own franchise right now. But I think Deadpool also, because of like the fourth wall breaking, has the most like ability to just do random ass crossovers in its movies.
It would be the easiest to transition.
Yeah. But I feel like they wouldn't want to make Deadpool R-rated if they did that, and a non-R-rated Deadpool would be stupid.
If he's a minor character.
Yeah, like a minor character.
If he's
PG-13s gets one fuck per movie, and that one fuck must always go to Deadpool.
well, it only gets one fuck, but you don't have to say fuck to be appropriate.
No.
You can just do a bunch of references.
No, but it's Deadpool. He has to say fuck.
But like, I think it'd be funny because Josh Brolin plays Cable,
And Thanos.
So, dream option. Cable comes to this universe, and he turns into Thanos. And it's the origin of how Thanos is.
The next Deadpool movie where Cable's there, they need to make a Ant-Man up the butt joke towards Cable or something up the butt.
Oh, now you want to
Cable.
see an Ant-Man up the butt
Yeah,
joke.
if it's Deadpool, because it makes sense for Deadpool to reference memes. It's fucking Deadpool.
And last but most importantly, Bonesaw is ready.
Bones! If they
If
they don't bring Bonesaw back,
like,
why even make the MCU? For money? Is that what this is all about? Fucking money? No. Think of the art. All right, bring Bonesaw back.
we just need, because like all the other Spider-Man movies, they had origins and they somehow like made reference to wrestling. This one hasn't, so I think we need a.
Did Amazing really make reference to wrestling?
It had the wrestling ring he fell in.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
That's how he got his idea for the mask.
Yeah.
I think this one, it needs to like have, it kind of like do a spider, or even in like the Spider-Verse, I'd be cool with that. They need to make reference. That one would make more sense for the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
To have like a really shitty Macho Man Randy Savage impression. And yeah. Okay, we're going on hour 30.
Oh my god.
Where does this rank? Where's the I almost said the Infinity War, the Endgame rank?
All right, so I have my official ranking. I made one up this morning. My official Marvel MCU ranking for the entire things. Do you want me to go through all of it or just say where?
Do like worst to best.
All right, so my worst to best. So starting with the one I hate the most, For the Dark World.
Okay.
Obviously.
Don't even need to explain it.
Iron Man 2.
Okay.
Captain America: The First Avenger.
Okay.
The Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Okay.
The First Four.
I'd probably put First Floor below Avengers: Age of Ultron.
I found it just really boring and forgettable.
It's okay.
But like it's serviceable. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp probably like right above Thor: The Dark World.
I thought I enjoyed some of the humor in it. and that's why I put it up higher.
It's just so bad.
Yeah. Iron Man 3.
Okay.
I put it up higher than Iron Man 2 and like higher up than like really low because
It's
like,
better than Iron Man.
Shane
2.
Black, except in the most recent Predator movie, like is a competent writer and director, and like he can do like weird dynamics. So like the dynamic between like Tony and the kid like worked really well because that's what Shane Black's really good at. Above Iron Man 3, Doctor Strange,
Okay.
Captain Marvel.
That's not the worst, but it's better than Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah.
Better than Thor: Dark World. Yeah. So it's not as good as Iron Man 3 in my opinion.
Right above that is Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. I didn't like it as much as came out, but then I saw Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I kind of put everything into reflection for me.
Suddenly things became in perspective.
That's how comedy can be bad.
Captain America: Civil War,
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I like 2 more than 1.
I like 1 a lot more than 2. I think it's funnier. I think the story's better. I think the characters are better.
But CGI eyebrows.
That's why you like it more?
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, right above that is Ant-Man. Then the first Avengers. Then Black Panther. And now,
I haven't seen all of it.
keep in mind, that's like number 7. Like, so.
I haven't seen all of it. And
The CGI is bad, but like, it's
Bad.
got a good like story and good characters. It's good. Other than the bad CGI.
it needs Dong Lover.
Yeah. Everything needs more Dong
Lover.
Dong Lover. So now we're in number 6, Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Okay.
Number 5, the original Iron Man, the
Okay.
film that started it all. Number 4 is Endgame.
Okay.
Yeah.
Endgame's my favorite out of all of them because
No.
I think it needs. I don't think it's good as a standalone film, but like in comparison to the rest of the experience, it needs everything else.
Yeah. Number 3 is Captain America: Winter Soldier. Number 2 is the original Guardians of the Galaxy. And number 1 is Infinity War.
I don't like Infinity War.
I think
as
Infinity
much.
War is better because it doesn't have stupid time travel, and I think it handles its like emotional, like mixing the emotion with the comedy a lot better than this one did. Whereas they would just like separate the scenes out. Yeah. It was like, this is an emotional scene, this is a comedic scene, this is an emotional scene. That one, like, you could have both mixed in a way that felt more natural.
But also, Endgame gives me fanfare and instant gratification for like every scene. So
Yeah, but you know that's just because you're ADHD.
no, I think
I
it's
mean,
just
like,
because that's what I want.
Empire
That's kind of
Strikes-
what I want.
I like movies that end on dark notes without quite like that bring up whatever or not things are gonna end. That's why like Empire is like one of my favorites.
No, but like
My
the thing,
favorite Star
my
Wars.
major beef with Infinity War, and like it's something I can understand because I think this film justifies it with its writing, and it made it out really good. But they killed off all the characters with films.
Yeah, that was like
That's like
that's like probably the only thing that was like a really dumb choice because it made it obvious that they were gonna come back.
and it wasn't
but,
like looking at it now, they didn't need to kill off Star-Lord.
No, I'm glad they didn't because I didn't want to see him that much.
Because like Spider-Man, it affects the arc.
Yeah.
Star-Lord, he didn't need to kill off. Drax didn't need to be killed off. I think Drax would have been a decent.
I did miss Drax.
Drax would
I feel like actually killing off everybody makes sense with Rocket because like Rocket went.
It
from
does.
Because like Rocket was this like super selfish, super self-centered, like only want to survive and make money.
And then him and Nebula kind of bond over, which is
over
nice.
the fact that they both lost the only family that they had managed to gather for themselves. So it makes sense. Like, why would Rocket risk his life for all this? Old Rocket wouldn't, but like new Rocket, where his family's gone, would.
It continues that James Gunn arc, which
Yeah.
was set up perfectly. I thought Rocket was going to die as a hero in this film.
I'm glad he didn't. 'Cause I
I'm
want to keep more Rocket. But
Yeah.
it would have worked. It would have made sense.
But yeah, I feel like they could have. It makes sense in the writing why they didn't, but like they're justified in it. But I feel like they should have kept at least one main guardian, like Gamora,
Yeah.
or like they could have had Gamora kill Star-Lord at the thing, and then
Yeah.
Thanos. I think-
One of the characters who was snapped should have died after they came back.
Yeah,
Somebody needed to stay dead.
yeah.
Other than like
I'm glad no one died because I like how the atmosphere of Guardians is, even though even though Chris Pratt's like an asshole. I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Final most important question. You ready?
Ready.
Is it a film?
It is a film.
Oh wow, that's very surprising.
Yeah. Of course it's a fucking film.
I don't even remember. I tried to hum it, but I just do Batman instead. That's
No.
Pink Panther.
Yeah. That's more like James Bond.
Oh, was it? I don't know. All humming sounds the same. Except for this humming. That's definite Aphex Twin track or Ant-Man up Thanos' asshole. So yeah, I think that wraps it up for Is It a Film? This has been a long episode.
It's been long. Hopefully our future episodes won't be this fucking long.
But this one was just like digesting everything. Future films won't have as long Wikipedia articles.
Yeah, future films won't have 21 other movies that we have to talk about in order to talk about it.
I don't know. I'll find a film.
So, for the next Is It a Film, we're going to talk about the entire Dark Carnival from Insane Clown Posse.
That's not a film?
But we'll still say it is. That's the thing. We're called Is It a Film?
It's not, and I don't want to. Like, we reviewed that Insane Clown Posse album, like, a week ago. That I'm good. I'm good for a long...
You've got your ICP, Phil?
For forever.
Good, because I do too.
Yeah, okay. And until next time, guys, I'm Vincent.
I'm Jonathan.
And see ya, boyos.